Hi there, it's Sam from Pootles.co.uk. Thank you very much for joining me today. Today I have got a lovely little box for you, and I was going to call it the lovely little lace box, but the one that I'm going to build for you in a minute, not lacy at all. So I'm sticking with lovely little box, and it opens only at one end. It's permanent close at the bottom, although if you were building these in advance, leave it unstuck. But it opens like that. You can put loads of goodies and treats in it. And obviously with Mother's Day coming up on the 15th of March, I figured it was perfect timing. But I am going to make a celebration version of it using Celebration DSP. Now this is my catalogue here, so it's for every £45 or €60 spend that you have, you can choose something for free. So I'm using the paper and the matching accessory pack. Now this is my quite well battered copy of the catalogue. If you haven't got one, let me know. I have French, English and German versions of them, and then the full catalogues as well in all of the languages. So just send me an email with your name and address and I will get one out to you. If you haven't already got one, you might have got one because I did, well, I sent 200 of them out right before Celebration started. If you think you probably should have got one, just let me know and I'll send another, because I know a couple went missing unfortunately, but we've got that rectified. But back to the box. I'm going to build it. Now this is the Something Borrowed Designer Series paper with Sahara Sand. I'm using the same Sahara Sand cardstock, 6.5 by 6.5 inches, which is 16.5 by 16.5 centimetres, whoopsie daisy, and it's quite a simple score. On one side you score it at 2, 3, 5 and 6, which is 5, 7.5, 12.5 and 15. And then on the other side, doesn't matter which side, score it at 1, 5 and 6, which is 2.5, 12.5 and 15. So that is the bottom of the box and that's the top, because this little section here, this part is what's going to fold over and become the closure part, this little part here. The finished dimensions, so I must remember to give you that. I get a bit hopeless sometimes at remembering to do that. 4 by 2 by 1 inches, which is 2.5 by 5 by 10 centimetres. So that's the size of the finished box, which is a really good size. You could fit maybe a special luxurious soap in that. I know some of my soaper friends make soaps in those sizes. You could fill it with treats, a little, oh gosh, all sorts. Would you fit a mini bottle of something alcoholic? I'm not sure, perhaps. So, something gorgeous and lovely in there. And okay, let me finish off scoring these lines, then I'm going to show you the parts to cut. And I'm just going to grab I should grab a pen because that will be easier. So we're going to cut straight up these lines here, but we're going to take off that section, and when it closes round, this one on the far right hand side, or the opposite side to there, this part here is actually going to be that, because the seam is here at the back and you want it to close from the back forwards. So you need to get rid of that one, all of those along the top. We need to keep those two squares because that's this part here, this one and that one. So we need to keep those. So you get rid of that one and that one. So can you see the bits we're going to lose? Most of it. Okay, cut up these score lines, and I will show you how to cut the tab parts as well, because that's quite important so that it closes properly. So that's the first part gone, and then get rid of all of these. And we do need to cut down into this part, so I'm just going to cut them for the minute and then I will show you what to do after that, how to notch them in beautifully. Okay, oh, let's get rid of that one too. So these have got the tiniest whisper of an angle, and that is so that there is a little tiny little gap. I'm not sure how well you're going to see it, but enough that this lid and lip will fit in and not pop open. So coming back to these, it's the whisper of a hair is all you want to remove. Tiny, tiny, tiny amount. Any more than that and the lid's just going to fly open. So you want to lose, like I say, a hair of a whisper of a smidgen. That's all you want to lose. Okay, we do need to round these corners of this part here, which is going to go in there. And I've had a couple of people talk to me about the corner rounder. Now, you can see I'm putting it in upside down. If I put it in like that, I'm not necessarily going to get it accurately lined up because I have cut this by hand, or, you know, trimmed off at these parts by hand. So it's best to look through, and then you get the perfect corner round. Perfect corner round? Perfect round corner. So that's what you need to do. So that's why I turn mine upside down that way. Okay, let me get my DSP on. So I have chosen, do you know what? It's not celebration paper at all. It's spring paper. If you could see the stack of stuff to my left, you'd know. It's this gorgeous one here, Sweet Dreams. Oh my goodness, it's the Sweet Dreams paper. Seriously, if I could angle, you know, if you could see that way, paper everywhere. I've got lots of videos. So the Sweet Dreams paper, 6 pieces of paper that measure, the biggest ones measure, and don't forget everything will be down on my blog, 1 3/4 by 3 3/4, which is 4.5 by 9.5. 2 of those, and then I have got 2 more pieces that measure, whoopsie daisy, 3/4 of an inch by 3 3/4, which is 2 centimetres by 9.5. I can't get hold of that one. So 2 of those, and then my last 2 measure 3/4 of an inch by 1 3/4 of an inch, and they are going to go over all of the panels. So this one here, we're going to do the top ones first, top and the bottom. This is the top, and this is the one that you want to cover because that is going to wrap around over there. This is going to be the front of the box, so it's opposite. Not the one below, the one opposite. That's the one you want to decorate. Can you tell I nearly made that error when I was building my prototype? Should I just say that again? Diagonally opposite. I hate it if I make a mess up and I've got the most beautiful cardstock and I've cut it and I've trimmed it and then I go stick it in the wrong place. I think we all make that mistake at some point in time, so if I can pass on the tip early, I will do so. But I always say to everybody, you know, if you're making one of my projects, just really, you know, make a mock-up of it first, you know, a bit of scrap cardstock, some old retired DSP. Perfect then, that's exactly what you want to do. Okie dokie. Want some sticky strip down here, and this one that has got the paper over it. So sticky strip or fuse, I'm going to come in with fuse because it's here, it's out on my desk. So there we go. So this is the point that if you were making a load in advance for maybe a wedding or something like that, or baby shower or a party or whatever you're making them for, you'd close it and seal it like, or store it like that because it's completely flat. Obviously I've only got one end that's opening, so I'm going to close this one now. This is the one you put adhesive on. So fold your sides and the back, and then some adhesive on there, and then here we need to put a little notch out because I don't know if you can see, it's just there. So I have got my small oval punch and I'm just eyeballing it, and actually it's the perfect it's exactly the same dimensions as the width of this paper. Oh, and that's just given me just a way of opening it without, you know, without bending the cardstock or anything. Finally, I had flowers and I've got linen thread and I've got the beautiful new lace trim. I'm bringing in the Hello Honey one, and it's crochet, quilted cotton ribbon. So it's rather lovely, and it's Hello Honey that is in the back of the paper. So I thought we could do that. I could have come in with the celebration ribbon that came with the accessory pack. I decided not to, just because I was in that kind of a mood. I just fancied using this because it's really pretty actually, and to date I haven't used it, so I thought why not. I'm making a project that is completely opposite colours, or opposite to what I'd originally done. So there we go. So I've got the seal at the front because I'm going to smother that in flowers. Just going to cover it all over. So I've got the petite petal punch. This one I did use the boho blossoms, but I'm going to be putting something different on here this time. So yeah, I've got a bit of both. I've got, this is Calypso Coral, so I'll have a couple of those. Should I have 3 of those? And this is Hello Honey. And then I've got the packet of buttons. So this comes, the free accessory pack comes with buttons and with ribbons in Coastal Cabana, Hello Honey, and well, it's actually technically it's crushed curry, but you know, it's close enough that I'm happy with it being usable with Hello Honey. So Calypso Coral, Coastal Cabana, and crushed curry. So I'm going to take 3 of each button. And you know where I'm going with this, don't you? Let's put those out of the way. So I'm going to stick them all on. And I've kept the tail on my mini glue dots today because I'm just finding it easier to hold it with one finger to tuck it out of the way. So into the middle of those, kind of a bit like daffodils really, aren't they? Sort of. I think they're sweet anyway. I have a phobia of buttons. I can handle these ones just about because I'm not touching them for too long. It's the fisheye buttons. And I wrote an article for a friend. She owns a vintage clothing emporium online, and I wrote an article, a feature for her blog a couple of years ago, and then it popped up on Time Hop on my Facebook, and I reposted it again. The number of people went, yeah, okay, you're a bit strange. But then a number of other people went, yeah, I know somebody like that, and yeah, me too. I think what was probably most strange was my fear of submarines. So look at me, I'm chatting away while I'm bending. All I'm doing is just bending over the petals of these flowers. Do leave a comment if you have a funny phobia too. Seriously, submarines scare me big time. If I see them on TV, actually it's if I hear that sonar beep thing, I will run from a room. They are very imposing. I mean, they do the job. You know, they would do the job they were designed for. Very imposing and intimidating. Okay, mini glue dots on the back. We're going to get that seam covered over. Nobody wants to see that. Yes, I live near by the sea. Did you all hear that seagull? That has just literally flown across an eye line. Actually, I'm about 6 miles from the sea, and yeah, the seagull has just flown across the garden in front of me. So there we go. It's cute. It's a bit different. You could go with the wedding and then, you know, 9 months later for the baby shower. What do you think? I think it's a bit different. Anyway, thank you so much for joining me, for listening to me chatter on, and I hope to speak to you very soon. Bye.